I got lost entering this place. I know it's a big place. Almost like I traveled from northern part of Japan to southern part of Japan to find you. But my name is Sadaharu Honda, and Sada is my first name. Many, many years ago, I don't know whether I can beat everybody yet, but I came to the USA to study at UCLA, at Los Angeles University, and with a condition. If you're familiar with names like Shotokan guy, Kayla Atkins, or I'm sure Chuck Norris you are familiar with, you recognize. And then also Ed Parker, are you familiar with? Who raised the hand? Ed Parker, contributed to make karate popular in USA. I came here as a foreign student, and in exchange of teaching that my Shotokan style, one of the still major Japanese, one of the 4 styles that at Long Beach State, that where, are you familiar with Mr. Nishiyama, anybody, old person? That JKA, Japan Karate Association guy, who is getting pretty big because they are basically very strong team, but getting involved in this competition type thing, sending direct to the Olympic Games and things like that. So I was invited to come to the USA, and while I was teaching at, how do you call that? Strategy Yakman, that's still the word. Troop 82, who is, I guess, usually jump right to any nation that from the sky, from the airplane, and invade or prepare and fight. And I taught them around 6 months there. Then I was ready to come to the USA, and I was admitted to the university and came here. And it's a really long time that because karate wasn't popular. One example, I was still young, 23 years old, and I started at this junior college called Cerritos there in California to learn English. And there are sort of, people start to hear about word karate. It's something different from judo, you're familiar with. Judo has been there in USA for quite some years. So that I organized a club that at this junior college, Cerritos, and surprised because karate was not known, not popular. And there are about 60 people, mostly were football players and basketball players, and they thought I was as tall as them, as big as them. But this short guy came in and started to teach, and I made them, you're familiar with, very sweaty. Karate is probably better than it because its coaching systems are a little different, and you pace yourself, and the coach, karate is, I don't know that, I think still is, isn't it? Yeah, I can ask you, very sweaty, right?
Very sweaty.
Yeah. Karate is a tradition that, so that I made him sweat. And next day I was called by the director of athletics and said, at that time, I guess, Sada, you have to close this karate club. And I couldn't quite understand the English at that time, but I said, I said, why? He said, I still remember. He said, I made them sweat. And they said, Americans are not accustomed to sweating. I know you guys don't have any problem now doing that under the command of the instructors and do sweating, but even Californians thought that was crude, cruel, and things like that. Big basketball players and football players, I think, one more time, go, 1, 2, ichi-ni-san-shi, turn, ichi-ni-san-shi, they get sweaty. They like it, but that was an early stage of my karate experience in USA. That's 1962. Some of them were born or not. But anyway, then that karate that we are not certain. My senior person, that Mr. Ohshima, probably you're familiar with, very big man, familiar with, he's probably, he started to teach karate in 1956 or 7. Just about Master Funakoshi died in Japan. He was a Master Funakoshi student and learned a lot of karate from him. But Mr. Ohshima started teaching in California. That's probably the first, except some GIs, retired GIs, brought, I don't want to be that impolite, but they brought GI karate, which is tough, strong, sweating, but not necessarily be the, how do you call it, standard. How do you learn? The right karate in 3-5 years, right? And I know some of the gentlemen instructors have been teaching for quite some time, and this is sort of Japanese developed the idea of this lifetime practice that on karate. And same as other martial arts, they call Budo, like Judo, Kendo, they believe in this gradual learning by repeating simple technique many times, and because that same attack, for instance, from here and doing like this, that if you repeat many times, first, initially instructor says, all right, that you didn't do this way, and we'll count, you're going to do it like this many times. That's very primitive. Then, martial art will believe in this, what Taiken, body learn. A little bit different from this, sports approach. Taiken is body learn. So you have to be able to, in case of emergency, in case of something, without thinking, you have to go and run like this. If you say, oh, I'm attacking, so I have to, my teacher said, take this fist and here, that's too late, right? Mm-hmm. So body learned, that's pretty much emphasis. So for your body to learn, you have to practice sort of long time, right? I think I got a benefit of that practicing long time in January 30th this year, that I'm 85 years old, and I was doing something to the ceiling in the chair, and I fell. I didn't do anybody, maybe Mr. Kiki doesn't know yet. I fell so badly, but the amazing thing is, part of this karate, I practiced judo's fall. So although I broke 2 ribs, but 8 or 9, but still, amazing that I fall. I went from here like this. You see what I mean? Yeah. Rather than not doing it with the hand and hit like this. So I thought at that time, my long-term practice, I paid dearly, right? Not the money, but the sweat, sacrifice of the family and those things. So that's what Taiken is in martial art, that your body learned, and so in case of emergency, your body takes natural self-defensive posture and hitting the floor with the hair like judo's, take down. But karate is like that. But karate is the youngest in all 9 Budo sports in Japan. So some of them, the oldest, like 1,200 years. I know none of them was born 12 years. That's when sort of samurai control Japan. They went through many years of civil wars and swordsmanship and those things. Then this guy, first professional samurai swordman that become ruler of Japan, which is different from Chinese and other nations who have their own martial art, because Chinese always historically has an emperor, right? Emperor, and they have a very wise, strong samurai swordman, a general who support that. While in Japan, this is the characteristic, year 1200, he became the ruler of Japan as a samurai man. So that's, I guess, a little bit different, and still Japanese emphasizing that martial art, and as a part of this tool to live in a way that happened. So that's even Koreans a little bit different, and particularly Chinese, who controlled Japan for many years, centuries actually. And we used to bring that, our forefathers used to bring gold until gold mining is completely depleted in Japan, brought to the country. And I'm not saying to be derogatory to them, but that's power game, right? They played. Japan is like almost, I thought, as large as this, how do you call it, Kahuna Park? And China is pretty big actually, and so they can go Japan. And both Okinawa and Japan used to be subservient to Chinese, but the benefit of that is Japanese didn't learn swordsmanship from from China, but they have a lot of cultural difference, right? Structures, how to build, and those mathematics, how to make that noodles. They grew up there, right? So, and they even taught this to Marco Polo. He brought that idea of these noodles to Italy. And so they are, and plus kanji, Chinese letters we use still in Japan. That's what we learned from China. So exchange of this gold to China, and Chinese taught us quite a bit. And one of them is that they sent, particularly Okinawa, that guardman, representative martial artists to Okinawa, right? So Okinawa, that when they have to defend themselves, and they learn from Chinese envoy, who spent about 3 years and then go back to China. And that's why Okinawan karate is a little different. You know that Okinawa has that lot of different great Chinese style, if you know, for instance, Uechiryu. Uechiryu is that one of the Okinawan. Are you familiar with it? I think there's a gentleman last time I came here, Uechiryu guy. Uechiryu is still very strict. And compared with our Shotokan Karate, which is repetitious, they do repetitious, but some of the Okinawan Karate is Okinawate, they used to call, hand of Okinawa. They built their body, right? They built their body, and they could take some of the blows that even the big guy, he can take it. While our Shotokan is, yes, we practice reasonably on how to timely tension our body and for defensive purposes. But if you compare with that Okinawan influence, Uechiryu, for instance, amazing how much they can take. You have heard that, right? There is a guy that, if you see that Uechiryu's demonstration, not only 8 bat, right, baseball bats, and here, and he can round house kick and break that. If you can do 1 is okay, but 2 is okay probably with your strength you can, but 8 of those things, amazing power they can create. But that style is very different from Shotokan. Now, Shotokan is that I joined Shotokan Karate that which is one of the oldest that imported from Okinawa. Let's remember, Okinawa used to be torn to deal with Chinese, deal with Japanese, very sad. And that's why they become further very strong, independent-minded. And when I went to Okinawa, for instance, as a student, first time after the World War II, we had to be very careful. We are told by my teachers, karate, be humble. Okinawans are very conservative and very humble, very sincere people. And they regret sort of some of the Japanese mainland guys that distorted karate and taught, learned by themselves. So that, and because of the war, they have a bad experience with the Japanese people. But anyway, when we went there, that for instance, that I guess I'm describing about my history of karate, that when I was 23, I went to Okinawa and with a few people. First, after Japan, Okinawa, sort of still, Okinawa is under U.S. control, and so, but it's a part of Japanese island, and things like that. We went there, we were very careful. And at that time, mind you, Okinawa, that 1962, Master Funakoshi didn't have any belt system. Everybody wear, and they don't have a gi, right? Most of them regular clothes, and they wore that white belt or some kind of belt. And Master Funakoshi coming to Japan was influenced by Japanese martial art, like judo, for instance. And in fact, judo guy said to Master Funakoshi, you don't have any belt system? You must be old-fashioned. Why don't you start it? And that's why he started, and only he decided, influenced by the judo masters, that he installed. Karate's max is belt system is, yes, I will allow somebody to become black belt after practice every day, 5 days, like I went through. 5 days as a student, also practice, and 3 years you become brown belt. And if you go to university and practice, then that in 4 years you become shodan or nidan, sandan, 3rd degree black belt. See how different we are. And masters, he thought it was the maximum compromise. He said, I'll give the student who practiced 5 years every day, every week, 2 special training, the special camp, I guess, per year. And when they graduate, I will give them the max sandan, 3rd degree. And others that, shodan or brown belt and white belt. So our organization, the Mumon, I decided that still keep that system. I may change, but our maximum is that the Godan 5 degree system. And only 2, 3 in USA. In Japan, Shotokan University probably have still maintained Sandan or Godan system, like Master Funakoshi decided and started to give belts and things like that. That's characteristic. And training-wise, let's remember, I do respect other people. We are 1964, 62. We came from Japan, and at that time there is a hollow out of Japanese karate guys. JKA, Shotokan, Shitoryu, Goju-ryu. Only they really look for America, come to America to try their, not so many went to university, but try their teaching karate. Karate is not, they are not sure to be popular among Americans, I told you. And there are 44 people. I was one of them, I was one of the few who went to school, rather. Other guys just start to teach and open dojos. Dojo means town place to practice, versus university. That's where Shotokan started. Master Funakoshi taught is that university karate club. So they didn't call the dojo before. Dojo, the path, and jo is a place of practice. So that's what dojo is. So nowadays we mix up and everything. I call myself university clubs as CMU dojo. Let's put together CMU dojo. That's fine. So there have been some changes there. But Master Funakoshi, I was, I guess, lucky. When I joined the club, I belong to that a university, and below them we have several high schools they run. I was a high school boy, 17 years old, and I wanted to be strong, and I was sort of challenged several times. You go to spend one hour going to the place to school to study high school, and during the 4 years, 3 years of high school, like American high school, we go usually that 6 years of primary school, 3 years in how do you call it, mid school? Middle school, and 3 years of high school, then go to the university. And the typical young guys, some guys want to be bullied, threatened, and things like that. So I have several losing matches. So I said, and my father took judo, so he encouraged me to go to judo, but karate is coming from Okinawa, thanks to Master Funakoshi and other masters, start to be not popular, but a very solid university group. So there are 44 Japanese masters, I guess you call later masters, came here and started teaching in various places. And what they taught, and you could see the real characteristics of JKA, Shitoryu, and also that Wadoryu you are familiar with, and things like that. There's a little bit difference in that emphasis. But that was the time that I told you about my junior college experience, and that's 64. And thanks to the guy by the name of Ed Parker, who came from Hawaii, he used to tell us and tell my senior teacher, Mr. Ohshima, in America, you can look like a poor guy. You have to really. And he said he came to the USA with $5 in the pocket, Hawaiian. And he has that's some of the karate, not karate, Hawaiian defensive experience. And is he the one who taught Kaiju Kempo or something? Hawaiian. Yeah, anybody know?
American Kempo.
American Kempo Karate, right, that's right, yeah. Yeah, I practiced, thank you. Yeah, so that he said he preached us once he started to make money, that 1964, 65. Karate is dawned in USA, karate world. At that time, no karate, nobody was paying attention. We are thankful to that Ed Parker, and also now with Ed Parker that cooperatively worked with Ed Parker is Chuck Norris and what's the name? Bruce Lee. So they start to go around that in California area, except this Mr. Trias, who went as a soldier, who went to Arizona, started to teach his karate. But I don't know about New York history, but California is the first places where Mr. Nishiyama opened the dojo. Mr. Ohshima opened the dojo in 1957. Only two Japanese Americans that So that Ed Parker taught us a lot, and Mr. Ohshima and I rejected because he said, Mr. Ohshima and Mr. Honda, if you want to spread karate in USA, you have to drive a Cadillac. I was driving a 10 years old Chevy $240. That will never Americans will come to practice with you. And 240 that, then Mr. Ohshima and I decided after listening to them, we didn't know how karate had become popular. Both of us thought, Mr. Ohshima and I, that karate will not be popular in USA. Mind you, Americans don't like to be sweaty. But it's amazing thing, isn't it? Ed Parker is very skilled, and you need a promoter, right? For any sports to become MMA or anything, judo. One time was that, and I still remember, and let's share this. So I appreciate that his effort to spread karate in USA with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. One of the fights that last game to decide who is the best at that time, 1966 or something, that I was sandan from Japan, but at that time probably precious to be a sandan in America. So he wanted me to be a chief referee, so that there wasn't anybody like Mr. Hickey, who is 7th dan or something at that time. No, 7th. And the last match, which is between Chuck Norris and Carlos Banda. I think American, but Filipino stock. Very nice, quite different. Amazingly, Chuck Norris, as you know, that what's that, Tansudo, is that way? Korea he learned, and Carlos will be Filipino style, and it was very fast, quick, and last game, and I was going to go to that center stage and to be a referee. Mr. Ed Parker said, Mr. Honda, they called him Mr. at that time, right? Come on. Regardless what happened, Chuck Norris wins. Well, you know that I went through the Japanese that pro wrestling from USA, and my friend was involved. He said, all right, Sada, pro wrestling in Japan, American sport is all fixed. They are in shape, right? They are nothing in shape. But in the end, they know who wins, and turn around suddenly, and the good guy wins in the end, right? Yeah. So same thing. Karate is that Ed Parker said. But an amazing, interesting fact is that Carlos and Chuck Norris fought, but Chuck Norris, I respect him. He won. There is no doubt he was very good already. Mind you, karate wasn't popular. There's no major matches or anything like that. So that's my experience. That because of this hollowing out of Japanese instructors, Shotokan, Wadoryu, Shitoryu, Mr. Demura, and things like that came to USA to try to be professional living by charging. And probably they still, even American instructors carry that, or they know karate is not something that you invest and make money, right? You can't. The hard work like you do at painting, and in the end, yes, our organization is positive, we don't lose money, but if I try to drive a Cadillac, right, better not get into that business. And it's hard because conditioning. I'm lucky in this age and still I can move, but I know my American friend and Japanese friend in Japan, not so good. Naturally, we age and things like that. But anyway, that's at the dawn of American karate. I call them that American guys. Some of them stay with us, like Chuck Norris is a key student first black belt under Chuck Norris, by the name of Ken Osborne. He joined us when I became independent in 2017. Very good contestant, but he has some, health problem, so he cannot practice. But one characteristic of them is they are so confident, and they come to that even they are feeble and they're on a wheelchair, they don't stay as a wheelchair man, right? When you see kids practice, white belt practice, they could stood up and say, "Come on, you have to do it this way, once more. They're pretty tough, which is a good element to encourage the student to try their best. And one of the things that I think that karate teaches, if you do long-term practice, is you really learn that real essence. We call that secret. And it's not secret. Physical understanding of this, how to use, compared with other sports, use how to balance, number one, over your body. And so karate guys, in the moment, they can stand up like this and laugh, and they don't shift stance and go like this. That's amazing. Tighten the butt, like this. And that's the learning about balance, and always keep yourself close to the floor, close to the earth, so that you keep the balance. Like sumo, if you see Japanese sumo, they go through the ritual, sitting here like this many times, and really timing how fast they go, like this, hit each other, right? Almost more than 2 ton penetrating force. And so that we have. So the essence that of karate, whatever the style is that to learn to balance your body anytime, any situations, you balance, and you'll be able to protect your body, protect your body and any part in that thing, and that you would you learn to use enduring power or commitment, very focused idea in even regular practice, drill, and you learn to be explosive, your power suddenly. We call that last one attack. Funakoshi, Master Funakoshi, really focus. The last one attack. I like boxing, and but instead of hitting it many times here, Shotokan particularly, and I know you have quite an influence of Shotokan. Is one last attack. I may lose, but it really goes from here, any position, like this, and follow through. That's Shotokan characteristic. That's what Master Funakoshi came. But mind you, the Master Funakoshi came to Japan from Okinawa at the age of 30, 40 years, and so he rested until he became 85 years old. He stayed in Japan, but the reason he started to teach universities, Shotokan style, different from other styles, is that he thought Okinawan karate still dwell on this winning the fight, street fight. When I was 23 and went to Okinawa, I didn't get the message, but Mr. Soken Hohan, very famous person, Soken Sensei told me to us 4 people, I still go to Naha City at night at 9 o'clock and test my fist. Can you imagine a 60 years old still trying? And that's how Okinawans learn karate, and they are very good. And but the Funakoshi came to Japan at the invitation of Judo and Kendo great Funakoshi said that he's one of the few Okinawan instructors, educational person. So he said that I'll teach the good part of meaningful, beneficial part of this karate. And he didn't believe that fighting on the street and winning is the best. So he came to the universities, 4 universities. He spread, very humble man. And he said the reason he started to teach Japanese university students is because he believes karate is not for fight. Okay? Karate is for defense and becoming more decent person, humble, and not challenge other people. And the best in karate, if you learn after, is to be able to defend anybody, and but you don't initiate, right? The fight. Karate ni sente nashi. There is no first attack in karate. That's what Funakoshi believed came. And college student at that time had a sort of new culture, like some of you study experience in Japanese karate. New culture for Japanese mainland living, and he said that they have a critical judgment ability. Probably, in a fighting situation, I better not fight, right? Things like that. That's what Funakoshi. That's what you have to be proud of. Funakoshi was a very decent person, teaching you the good self-defense, but not necessarily be that, use a weapon to show you bullishness, things like that. And other styles, I respect them. They have their own history. That Wadoryu, Gojuryu, and Shitoryu, but they didn't really initially start to teach at universities. They came to Japan, mainland, to help Okinawan workers in Japan work and as a labor to be protected. You don't see that there's a difference, I'm sure, that between Japanese mainlander and Okinawan, and I can't sometimes accept this. Okinawan, that folks who are indigenous, almost like a Polynesian type faces, but they are saying that not to fight, not to win that thing like that, but you have to be able to self-defense in case of emergency, defend your family type thing. And we carry that tradition quite a bit. And that's one of the reasons that when I departed from Mr. Ohshima's organization, I thought about quite a bit, and still I'm thinking about the validity of the karate, our karate. And I start to understand that Mr. Ekami, one of the founders, and I follow, he is probably 75, 80 years old or more, if he alive. But he told me that when I was a young kid, and I was feeling good when I faced with another universities in sort of, close to combat. Mind you that our coaches said when we meet with other universities, they call us here saying, and there's no ladies practicing. I'm probably only the first one that in USA who started at the University of Pittsburgh, let women combat, do kumite with men. I was old-fashioned Japanese. I thought women were not ready to, do kumite and things like that. Then, amazing thing about America, right? There is a lady who raised her hand in the practice and said, "Mr. Honda, you are not fair. You don't give us a chance to face with a man." I said, "Are you sure? You might get hit." He said, "I'm responsible if I get hit." Amazing, gutsy American women. And that's why that 1960, probably 6 or 7, I started, all right, I said, man, race with the women, and let's see how men beat women. Kate Joyce, he got punched like this, and I said, come on, are you okay? He said, yeah, I'm all right. I want to try once more. That's very different, your country. From now, Japanese in our club in Japan, there are more women practicing, women from other countries, and Chinese, Koreans, the Filipinos, and practice with that. But so there is a lot of development, even simple martial art karate, in the way understanding and things like that. And the reason that I am here is that to tell you, we have a great master, Hiki. I knew him about 20, 30 years ago, right? Yeah, I met him, and when I was in Las Vegas, he came and he wanted to see us. Mr. Mikami, 10th Dan of JKA, and Mr. Miki, or 7th Dan, and myself. We went there, and they are talking about Olympic Games, something like that. Of course, I'm not interested in, but 2-3 years ago, he was in touch with me. And I didn't recognize him. But when I saw him, I said, I know you, many years ago. And we started to talk and exchange thoughts, and I agreed with the way he thinks about this martial art, karate, his karate, and his experience with Koreans. And he himself is involved in this sports karate, judging and things like that. That's fine. But I came to realize that we have things to learn from others. Karate masters are basically narrow-minded, because they spend years to develop their technique, right? That when we went to Okinawa, that there was a debate between Japanese Mr. Ohshima and Okinawa masters. Okinawa masters want to show that he disagreed with us. And it's a simple thing that when somebody comes to attack, you go in the back stance, like this. Okinawans are more facing fully, right? Here, like this. While some of I do nowadays, several way of movement. When very dashing, fast attack, you don't have a time to go like this. What do you do? Is, right? So you like this. That's knife hand. Certainly. Versus, basic we learn like this. And so that kind of thing we have to develop. And he and I agree that we have we learn from each other, karate. And most of the karate that you're getting together with different schools, different styles, is to beat them, right? Saying that and see whether your karate is better than others. That period is over. That you have to be friends and you learn from other karate. That's what she and I are talking to see whether we can do that in order to spread the right karate, things like that. Mind you, when I talked about many years ago when I went to Okinawa, that was funny. Now he's a big man in Okinawa in that Uechi-ryu style. Which is that instead of coming to Japan in 1868, when Japanese went into modern age, Funakoshi was born in 1868, they escaped. Some of the guys don't want to be a Japanese. They went to China. They spent 15 years practicing Chinese karate. To, they call To. To is Chinese. Karate came back when things settled. And those people believe in that a little different way. building the body and things like that. That's the influence of they are learning from China. And it's funny that when we went to Japan, I went to Okinawa, and this Uechi-ryu, obviously I repeat many times, I admire them. And I think they have their own style, has a lot of things we can learn. Then that Mr. Uechi, founder of Uechi-ryu, and he's one of the disciples, gave a demonstration. Wisely, our leader said, let's not let them practice with them dual, kumite or anything like that, because we'll be beaten up. So he was very smart. So we showed our kata, Japanese kata. I did Basai or something like that, and Okinawan showed that, and Uechi-ryu showed. But the interesting thing about this, I close my presentation with that, is that Mr. Uechi's top guy says Shinjo, that's Okinawan name, last name. Shinjo Sensei gave a demonstration. We're so impressed. And we thought, oh my God, that good thing, our leader didn't tell me that I had to match up with it. I'll be killed. Yeah. But the interesting thing, there is his son, 11 years old, Shinjo Kiyohide. He was watching, and Okinawan didn't have a dojo, just almost like a sand or, the land that just flattened the soil. And Shinjo Sensei's kid was watching like this so seriously, and after our demonstration, well, it looked terrible for them. He said later to his father, saying, I could take all these Japanese guys. I was 23, and my senior is 24, 22, and he was 11 years old. Now that after that many years, I sent one of our associates from Kansas City to them, and he did well, American gentleman that practiced from Shodan, and in 2-3 years he got sandan. So, and amazing that practice, learn different styles is difficult, isn't it? That because you know certain way, and your teacher said, copy what I do. But this guy that said, Shinjo Sensei's son now, the Shinjo Kiyohide, told me, Mr. Honda, that he was 11 years old, and he said his dad, I can take those guys. So there are stronger persons, strong, dojos and instructors in this world, but you have to find them if you practice. And there is a sort of luck, right? You have to live here and learn about Mr. Hiki and practice. Yeah, that Japanese system that used to be that Sanko no Re means 3 times you visit the dojo, and your teacher, dojo master will see whether you are somebody that master wants to practice with or teach. 3 times. When you go there, and there's one in New York, a Japanese guy who practiced that rules, traditional modeler, thing like that. He will say, hey, you come to take a look, and he watches, and after that he was so impressed, I'm going to join this. He said, no, you really come back again, take a look at what we do. Third time, when he comes back, he's already testing the endurance, commitment on this guy, this American person, and he said, all right, you, why do you call this our karate, and it's really interesting, you really have to commit this our system once, because you will not learn anything in one shot, or 2 months, 3 months, so that they have this test system going on. Only one in the USA who still practices that. And he has a lot of very devoted students in that. But in Japan, we don't do that anymore. But yeah, we have an environment there in karate judo and everything, so they know when they come to my universities what kind of practice they will have, and that you have to really endure on that hard training many times. It's good for you. So if you don't like that, that you don't join, and that's still prevailing in a way. After our 100th anniversary we have in Japan, my university, Shotokan style. We have about 600 graduates, 4 years. Mind you, they are not only karate devoted person. Master Funakoshi told us, if you want to practice karate, that for a college student, right? You have to study. Study first, then practice karate. That's interesting. Let me see. Yeah, I'll leave you that Mr. Hickey, and I'll give it to you. This is a replica. This is a reprint. Funakoshi, and he said, Shogun to the student, right? Study first, then practice Budo. And we faithfully follow that. It's not easy, you know that. It's a challenge, but that's what it is that our university and the 4 other universities still follow this with their students. I was told that I went into sports karate tournaments and things like that in my period, and my coach said, great coach, he said, all right, you can enjoy your life and practice sports karate, win, lose, and things like that, but after graduation, that you have to go back to real Budo karate. I forgot that many times, and I thought sports karate is fun, and easy, and things like that. But when I was let go from this organization, difference of opinion and what karate is, I started to really think about it. And what is karate is worthy for me spending, sacrificing my family. That my wife was very helpful, and I taught karate to my 3 sons and things like that. Is rewarding for America. And I remember this, my coach, Mr. Shihan, said, you go to USA, don't bring Americanized karate. They say it this way, back to Japan. If Americans so want, leave the real essence of the art with Americans and let them further develop and spread the real karate. That was very, very expression, but real karate. And I remember after 60 years, I said, boy, that guy, my senior, wasn't dumb. He said, that karate, he saw the limit in sports karate. And I surveyed an American, 100 people that had black belt at that time. And most of the guys said, yes, I like sports karate, but I know there is a more deeper side of this martial art, Budo karate we call martial art, and I want to move toward that as we age. And that's why that's, although I forgot that for a moment, that was about 10, 15 years ago. And when I become independent, I started to pursue that and look for somebody who agreed with me that in pursuing Budo karate. Simply put it, that you can get involved in that. I encourage our guys, teachers, to teach kumite or sparring, that sports karate. That's fine when they're young. But when they become black belt, shodan, nidan, sandan, enough is godan, they move towards Budo karate. That becomes a ticket to go to Japan. If you're ever happy to go to Japan, that if you say, I am that Shotokan, Kudo, Sandan. They'll not laugh at you. They know the value that you pursued for so many years. And, instead of, if you have a 9th dan, 10th dan or something, there's one guy who is a 13th dan. He created this dan. Read, isn't it? Yeah, but that they can read. Japanese masters, karate, budo can read that you are valued. Whether you had a good instructor who taught you the right way. And this is that, so they study first to the student, then study that, then practice karate. But budo means karate, judo, like that. I kind of follow that. Only recently I become a pro because I lost my job and retired. And here, I wanted to share, I'll give you to your master here, Mr. Ricky. This is carving in USA, and this is, he said, this is Mr. Demura, kind of well-known guy, right? In Bukai, Shitoryu, that pretty good style. Mr. Demura gave it to me, and basically saying here, well, you know what I said? What he said? All right, anybody who can read? All right, yeah, this one says that Okinawan coming to Japan, Funakoshi, 1922 or 23. He said, he wondered about the value, I said, of karate. And he said that Okinawan's secret martial art, that who would spread in Japan, mainland, in Japan. And probably because he started introducing karate to mainland people, I am one of them. And I took a look into the sky at night, and I said, all right, my mission is that to teach right karate to Japanese. Now, I came across and said, that's right, with American masters, I joined them, and I said, we'll practice real, right, I guess I call it traditional karate, correct karate, pure karate, that for their self-defense, wellness, and like purposes to that to Americans. And I have been looking for somebody that I can, before I die, somebody who carry my wish, which is Mr. Shibuya, my coach's wish, which is a wish of Funakoshi, at that time, two Japanese, now in USA, who carried the correct, right, proud karate as a martial art among the Americans. With that, I finish. Thank you. Oh, okay. I remember you. So now, okay. I told you that respect other styles. I respect them, right? And they have a different way of emphasis because I go to do and purposes to build their body, to build their baby grow, and leg they can break their back and that. Yeah. There is a one. Thank you for asking. That Budo, there are 9 Budos. In functions that real Budo, and that
their motto. Simple version is Shingitai. Shingitai, meaning Shin is that we tend to think that karate is a part of this sport things that is powerful, build up of the body and muscle and things like that, and force our way. But they are saying the ideal of Budo is Shin. Is your mental strength.
Mind, body coordination.
Yeah.
Mind, body.
Yeah, you say mind, body, right? Mind, but there are very deep experience you have to go through. Mind reinforcement, alertness, and from eliminating your attitude of, for instance, when you're faced with that, I'm going to beat this guy here. Come on, like this, you are still low class. Your opponent is your mind is Shin. You are Shin. Mind meaning one strength with normal face rather than I'm going to beat you type. You have to practice that alone. And Gi is the technique, how to stand and things like that. And Tai is that this is the most difficult for us. And I didn't know for so long. I was told many times, but I didn't get the message. So it took me what? Almost 60 years, 70 years, 60, 80 years. And Thai is that, the important thing is that, are you familiar with that Tanden?
Probably am, but not in your turn.
Yeah, Tandien, Chinese word, right?
Okay.
There's no such point in the body. Field of your energy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So Shingi Tai, that three parts, Shin, Gi, and Tai need to be harmonized. Instantaneously when you're facing with the opponent, when you self-defend.
conversion.
What?
Be converted
Together. That's a little bit challenging. Sometimes that, some of the judo, for instance, judo has a close to that. Most of the judo is because of competition. They feel that opponent going to how he moves, right? And so the chances is going like this. But karate has the same element. How you do that? When I face for the first time with you, can I be ridiculing you? No, I don't. But here like this, immediately read opponents. After so many years of experience in facing others, you know characters. Okay, his knee on the left is that I'm not looking at it. His knee on the left is sort of going like this. So if I kick, bam, like this. So intuitively, intuitively you read your opponent, and variety of people there should be. And the tanden is that energy source is that basically that not the stance, but energy source of tanden is you attack opponent instead of muscle building punch. I will not hit you. Vital points, right? There are 44 Japanese, Chinese about 1,000, and from here, without looking at it, wow, like this, and accurately hitting pinpoint, point, here, this, and here, like this, wow, like this. See what I mean? Fantastic vital points they have, but basically saying all the attacks is not, I know you guys went through that, not really focusing on the fist, right? Well, underarm, upper, right? It's important thing is from here, but along the mindset, from here, I will not hit you. From here, when opponent is empty, when opponent is not ready, when opponent doesn't expect you. And only guy that I used to give a demonstration in the early stage with Ed Parker's show. I am Mr. Ohshima and I gave a demonstration right after this Bruce Lee. And remember, Bruce Lee, Americans will say 1 minute Shotokan. Yeah. Suke in Chinese. That's that Bruce Lee at that time showed that in front of the audience. And when he came back, when he finished, Mr. Ohshima, my senior, said, "Wow, I never seen that guy who is deep in understanding of martial arts. He's the only one. Others did that, right? Bruce Lee, very like, he's already learned from Chinese Shingi Tai. 3 has to harmonize instantaneously. So speed not only, force not only, but all the speed and relaxing the body. And I know the instructor will tell you, relax your shoulder, right? Don't punch it. It's a very abstract for you guys, and for me it was saying, don't put power in the shoulder, and how do you hold that arm, right? And but everything starts from here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. I didn't want to join you too.
Yes, well, I wanted to hear what you were saying.